highest of 7 hills in Florida's capital city, covering every corner of the Big Bend. This is the award-winning News 20 at 5 Live.
Good evening and welcome to News 20 at 5. I'm Amber Jones. Police say that Kentrell Johnson is one of the men charged with the murder of Vincent Bender in August of 2010. Bender's body was found with stab wounds in a field off of I-95 near St. Augustine, Florida. According to Johnson's attorney, prosecutors in Tallahassee made a deal that if Johnson led the police to the body, he could avoid the death penalty. Governor Rick Scott has proposed a new plan to increase graduation rates in the state of Florida called the Ready, Set, Work College Challenge. But the question is, are all 28 state colleges ready to respond? Issued in a press release on Thursday, Scott is looking for a 100% graduation rate amongst all state colleges, with students either getting employed or going on to a 4-year university. Fewer than half of the students graduate from state colleges, and he is hoping to turn that around. Scott looks forward to full participation from every state college in Florida to sign on before the start of the next legislative session. Tallahassee's Community Development Agency has some exciting plans for the Frenchtown area. Tallahassee's Redevelopment Agency is planning to put a fresh food farmers market right in the middle of Frenchtown. For the past 2 years, it has been facilitating a small farmers market on the corner of Georgia and Macomb. Although the market has been open for 2 years every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., Frenchtown resident Cheryl French was unaware of the market's existence.
I'm excited about it. I think that it's going to be a fantastic thing. Fresh produce is really important to me, and I think that it's important to our people as a whole to be able to have that resource available to them.
Expected completion for the project is set for January of 2016, hoping that it will serve as a new community staple. The Florida Supreme Court met recently to discuss League of Women Voters of Florida. Multimedia journalist Taylor Bishop tells us more.
The Florida Supreme Court previously met to discuss a map submitted by the League of Women Voters. This proposed map would change Florida's congressional voting districts. David B. King, with Attorneys at Law, expresses how the map redrawing process will affect African American voters.
At 45%, the African American voter in District 5 will control the primary, and that district will vote very heavily Democratic.
After the legislature did not pass a new map during the August special session, court members were asked to redraw a new map.
The State House and Senate have submitted their own proposal based on maps considered during the special session. Florida Congresswoman Fredricka'S Wilson voices her dismay in the map redrawing process.
And I hope the justices will take into consideration what they heard today and what I have written to them and all of the op-ed pieces I have written across this state. I hope they will look and read and research what I have said to them and give us some relief and keep District 24 as it is today.
The next map districting meeting with the Florida Supreme Court is set for the end of November. For News 20 at 5, I'm Taylor Bishop.
To find out more information on open hearings in the Supreme Court, visit floridasupremecourt.org. Residents have battled for a noise wall to be built at the Capital City Amphitheater located at Cascades Park. Many residents are not happy with the noise after a 3-year battle between the Commission and the Tallahassee residents. A 30-foot wall will be built.
The first idea of constructing a wall came up right after Cascades Park opened because we had some audio experts do some analysis of the sound impacts from the amphitheater, and they gave us a list of options that could help to mitigate those impacts on the neighborhood.
An engineering firm noted that the noise levels from the amphitheater were objectable and intolerable for residents. Rattling of the light fixtures, walls, and windows were common problems residents say they faced. The sound levels were 25 decibels over the outside noise. There was an 8-to-1 vote by county commissioners and will be placed on the south end of the park. We will have more news after the break.
7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
The 9/11 Memorial will honor my partner and the officers who responded that morning.
It's for my brother.
And my 343 brothers who didn't make it.
It's about hope for the future.
So we always remember September 11th.
For my husband who never came home.
And the first responders who saved my life.
This shows the world that we can rebuild.
That we are united.
And that we are strong.
Because the best of humanity can overcome the worst hate.
It's for all the heroes like my dad.
This year, the National September 11th Memorial opens in New York City. Join us to honor, remember, and reunite. To learn more or to reserve your visit, go to 911memorial.org.
Welcome back to the News 20 at 5. I'm Amber Jones. Russian President Vladimir Putin suspended all Russian flights to Egypt today, following the fatal crash of a passenger jet last week. Passengers were killed in a crash on Saturday shortly after taking off from a resort in the Sinai Peninsula. While pieces from the wreckage are being tested for possible traces of explosives, President Obama and other officials maintained that there have been a bomb aboard the Russian jet.
I think there is a possibility that there was a bomb on board, and we're taking that very seriously.
Putin has been advised to halt off all flights to Egypt until the cause of last week's crash is determined. The former South Carolina sheriff's deputy that threw a Spring Valley High School student across the classroom has been fired. This video showing Ben Fields throwing the 16-year-old student went viral earlier this week. Richard County Sheriff Leon Lott said he fired Fields simply because he